Hello everyone, welcome to today's class, and our title today is SAT Situation. Let's move on to language focus. 1번. You can attend many universities without an SAT score, so to those students, the test doesn't seem all that important. Okay, so as you can see, I've highlighted be verb, 비동사, all that important, or not all that important. So use not all that with an adjective to express some quality that some quality doesn't particularly exist. It is a similar meaning to not particularly. So not all that plus 형용사, 그다지 형용사 않다. 그 정도는 아니다라고 표현할 때 쓰인다. Okay, so let me give you the examples here. So if you already speak Spanish, Portuguese isn't all that hard to learn. 이미 스페인어를 말할 줄 안다면 포르투갈어 배우는 건 그다지 어렵지 않다. So Spanish and Portuguese have similar, expressions or words, kind of like how Chinese and Korean and Japanese all have 한자. So yes, I guess it's like that. Next example, the road doesn't look all that dangerous, but many people have accidents on it. 그 정도로 위험해 보이지 않는데 사고가 자주 났어요. So though it doesn't look dangerous, many people have accidents. Alright, moving on to 2번 now. Will they be able to recover, or will they be stuck answering questions that are too easy and too low value for the rest of the test? So, be stuck answering. Use be stuck doing something to describe a situation where somebody has no way to avoid doing something. So, be stuck 동명사, alright, doing something. So, how can we explain this? Be stuck doing something은 누군가가 무엇을 피할 수 없는, 움직일 수 없는, 꼼짝 못하는 상황을 표현할 때 쓰인다. Alright? So, be stuck doing something. So the example sentence, I was stuck doing all the paperwork because nobody else knew how. 서류 작업할 줄 아는 사람이 없어서 혼자 하느라 꼼짝도 못했다. So it's something that I can't avoid doing because nobody else knew how to do it. Only I knew. It can be hard to get other things done if you are stuck answering the phone all day. 하루 종일 꼼짝 못하고 전화만 받으면 다른 업무 보는 건 어렵다. So if you continuously get phone calls, it's difficult to do other work. Okay, now let's look at the language focus quiz. 1번. Isn't all that different from So remember, isn't all that different from. So what did we say up here? Not all that plus 형용사, 그다지 형용사 않다, 그 정도는 아니다라고 표현할 때 쓰는다. So the example was the Spanish one. If you already speak Spanish, Portuguese isn't all that hard to learn. 이미 스페인어 말할 줄 안다면 포르투갈어 배우는 건 그다지 어렵지 않다. Example, this car isn't all different from, I don't know, that car. That's a really difficult one to answer. 이 자동차나 저 자동차나 그닥 다르지 않다. There's not a lot of difference. They look similar. 2번. Doesn't look all that tasty, but it's actually delicious. Pig's trotter doesn't look all that tasty, but it actually is delicious. 돼지 족발은 뭐 그닥 맛있어 보이진 않지만 실제로는 별미다. 너무 맛있습니다. I love 족발. 3번. I don't want to be stuck talking to about So be stuck doing something. So be stuck doing something은 누군가가 무엇을 피할 수 없는, 움직일 수 없는 꼼짝하는 상황을 표현할 때는 쓴다. So an example was I was stuck doing all the paperwork because nobody else knew how to. So 서류 작업할 줄 아는 사람이 없어서 혼자 하느라 꼼짝도 못했다. So 3번. I don't want to be stuck talking to her about, let's say, work. She bores me. 그녀랑 일 얘기로 꼼짝 못하고 싶지 않아요. 정말 지루하거든요. So maybe she just talks about work all the time. 4번. I couldn't because I was stuck working on I couldn't go to the party because I was stuck working on my recent project. So 최근 프로젝트에 일검매여서 파티에 못 갔어요. Alright, now let's move on to the further discussion. 1번. Would you prefer to take a test on paper or digital format? Why? 종이 시험을 보는 걸 선호합니까? 아니면 디지털 형식으로 보는 걸 선호합니까? 이유는 paper. 100% paper. I'm still a little old school. I take notes. I have an iPad, right? But I always take notes on my notebook. And I'm not talking about I'm not talking about notebook. I'm talking about my notepad. Though I use my iPad a lot, if I take notes, it's usually better on paper, and I don't really like taking tests on a digital format because I'm just not used to it. Because when I was growing up, everything was on paper. So yeah. 2번. Some universities, such as schools in the University of California and California State University system, have gone test blind, meaning they will not look at the applicant's test scores even if the applicant wants to show them. Do you think this is a good idea? Why or why not? Okay, so 캘리포니아 아주 뭐 일부 대학교, 캘리포니아 대학, 캘리포니아 주립대학교는 테스트 블라인드 제도를 도입시켰습니다. 이는 지원자가 시험 점수를 보여주고 싶어도 그 성적을 고려하지 않는 것을 의미합니다. 이것은 좋은 아이디어라고 생각하십니까? 찬성 또는 반대 입장에서 말씀해 주세요. So this is kind of like, there's a lot of pros and cons to this, I think. To be honest with you, test scores are somewhat important, but I don't think they should be the factor that doesn't get you into the school. I think an interview with the student would be much more convenient and give a better idea for the school whether they want them or not. Because some people are lazy students. So the test scores do somewhat need to be looked at. Do I think it's a good idea? I honestly can't say, because I think there are pros and cons for both, and at the moment I can see it kind of equal. So I can't answer you and say that which one is better, but I do think that there's pros and there are cons to this situation. Anyway, that wraps it up for today's class, and I'll see you on the next class.
Take something with a grain of salt.
Take something with a grain of salt.
Exclusive.
Exclusive.
Big deal.
Big deal.
Built-in.
Built-in.
Choke.
Choke.
Objective.
Objective.